Allô, oui, bonsoir. I'm the Mademoiselle and ça se deuxième Chanel. Welcome to my Haitian channel, aka my second channel. If you're watching this and you think you're watching my regular main channel, whatever case may be, you're not. I actually have multiple channels now where I have separated my Haitian content, my personal content, things of the sort. Everything you need is going to be linked down below. As you guys can see, you clicked on a voodoo story. You guys absolutely love these, and I ain't gonna hold you, I love telling them because not only do they serve as cautionary tales, but they help a lot of you guys understand that there's way more things out there than meets the eye. So before we even get started, I do want to say thank you guys so much for all the birthday wishes as well as the condolences you guys have sent on behalf of my aunt. It's just very sad. Like, I kind of been going through a lot, but filming does help me feel better. Hence why I'm here filming before you guys. But I promise I will take the time that I need to heal, because I know that y'all keep sending me these paragraphs like, bitch, take time, take a break. But I will say that this is part of my healing / grieving process, as my aunt did genuinely like all my content, especially my dance content. But I will say I'm not in the mood to dance right now. I'm really not, but I can film. On another note, I gotta say something to y'all that keep commenting about my profanity. Get Momo. I don't give a fuck. Don't like it. Don't watch. I'm literally about to block all of y'all from even commenting because it's very annoying seeing people talking about, oh my God, I didn't subscribe because you curse so much. I don't give a fuck. Respectfully, I don't give a fuck. All right. I'm going to talk the way I talk. I'm going to do my content the way I do my content. It be that set. So let's get straight into it. So this story is actually a personal one. This happened to a family member of mine, a distant cousin a few years ago. And I will say, when this situation happened, it was it was very heartbreaking, but also it was one of those things where it was like, you kind of get what's coming to you, especially when you are someone that dibbles and dabbles in things that you shouldn't be, whether we're talking about spiritually or mundanely, and also someone that's doing wrong, right? So we're gonna call my cousin Michael, right? So I had a cousin, Michael, living in Haiti, doing real good things, went to school, had a job, literally had everything going for him. And he had a friend, we're going to name him Rudolph, right? And him and Rudolph were super close. They were close since they were kids. However, as they started getting older, they started leading different lives, but nothing stopped them from being close. We all have friends out there that we're like super close to, but we just don't talk to every day. But of course, when we link up, it's never different, right? It doesn't feel like so much time has elapsed. So when it came to Michael and Rudolph, they would always give each other job suggestions. We all know, because I talk about Haiti all the time, jobs in Haiti are very scarce. And a lot of times, even when you do find a job, it doesn't always pay well unless you have like a skill that not most people have. And when it came to Michael, he did go to school. And at one point he did own a business, but he had to shut it down due to all the gang activity and stuff like that. But he was really good with his hands. He was good at mechanical work. He was good at a lot of different things. And Rudolph would always get job suggestions from people where he would stay at. Now, both of these people, obviously, if you don't know, my family's from Cabaret, right? But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Rudolph was from another part of Haiti. I don't even remember. I really don't. And from what I understand, due to this story, I don't think I ever find out, right? I'll save that for the end. So Rudolph, I mean, it was close to Cabaret. Let's just say it was probably Akaye, right? Maybe he lived in Akaya now. He was no longer living in Cabaret, and he would always be like, oh, get job, you know, there's jobs, this place, this place, this place, you should definitely apply for it. And it was very common for him to actually take up these opportunities. Michael would go 9 times out of 10 every time he suggested a job, because hey, you got to feed your family and you also got to eat yourself, you feel me? So one day Rudolph was on his way to tell Michael about a job opportunity, but Michael was just not answering the phone and he wasn't getting back to his messages. So he was just like, all right, you know what, fuck it. Tell him later, you know, it's not a pressing matter. But he decided this day to go by his house, right? He was just like, you know what, he's not answering. Let me just pull up anyway. It's not like he's doing anything. Like, he ain't got nothing to do. So he pulls up to his house and he sees Michael fucking on his wife. Now, this is why I said this serves as a cautionary tale. And even though this is my cousin, I'm not about to sit here and make excuses for piss poor behavior. You do not, under any circumstances, sleep with your friend's significant other, whether they are currently together, having issues, or broken up. From what I understand, Rudolph and his wife were having issues that Michael knew about, because Rudolph would always talk to him about those issues, and the wife would also sometimes confide in Michael about these issues. But instead of bringing them to his friend and trying to counsel him as a friend should do, he took it upon himself to sleep with the wife instead.
And y'all, completely forgot to mention, he was also married. Yeah, so my cousin Michael was out here fucking on his friend's wife. Meanwhile, he also had a wife, he had kids, he had all that. When this whole thing hit the village, everybody was like, oh my God, how could he? But at the same time, it was like, I think it was more so the fact that he slept with his friend's wife, not the fact that he cheated on his wife, because we all know how Haitian men are. Not to say that Haitians condone it, but it's one of those things where it's like a lot of Haitians kind of just be like, oh, okay, well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay? Are you gonna leave? Like, that's your husband at the end of the day. Like, a lot of Haitian women are very ride or die, very annoying to a fault. So yeah, it was a hot ass mess. I remember hearing about this years ago when it happened. Like, this happened like literally pre-2020, so pre-COVID.
From what I understand, Rudolph was completely blind to this. Michael and his wife had been having an affair for months, like probably going on about a year when he figured this out. And he gave Michael ample opportunity to say something, to bring it up to him, to have a conversation about it. And unfortunately, Michael never did. He went to his house later on that day and tried to be like, hey, what were you doing? You didn't answer the phone. And he was like, oh, I was just busy doing something, for some family over by the hillside. And he asked him consecutively other times after that, like, hey, is anything going on? Do you have anybody in your life? Because Michael, he was a whore. So he'd be like, hey, who's the new girl on the docket? You got any new women? Anybody you should tell me about? And he just never said anything. And again, this is my cousin, but I ain't gonna make no excuses for nobody. I don't care if you're my best friend, my cousin, whatever the case may be. Wrong is wrong. I personally don't know why he didn't see, okay, obviously this man knows that I'm fucking his wife. But obviously, my cousin didn't see that, yeah, you literally just got caught. But obviously, they didn't see him, peering through the house or peering through the window, whatever the case may be, when they were doing whatever they were doing. So, fast forward, Rudolph has another job for my cousin Michael. And he tells him, hey, I have a job for you, but it's going to require you to have a bike or, some sort of transportation. I know you don't have a car, but I do have a bike that you could use, and it's at my house. Now, this is the thing, right? I've told you guys so many times about being careful, not only through the phone, physically, but also not stepping on or going around anything that looks suspicious on the ground. It doesn't matter where you are, right? And it's funny because there's people that come on these videos that know these videos are not for them. If you are one of those Bible wielding Christians, Quran waving Muslims, whatever, don't click on my videos and sit here and try to preach to people, because I'm not gonna sit here and go back and forth with you. Y'all be like, well, God is powerful. All you gotta do is ask God to pray it away. There's so many things out there that are working against the power of God. I'm not sitting here saying that God is not great and God is not powerful. I want you guys to consider that there's other belief systems out there, and consider that you are not invincible, whether you have God with you or not. There's a reason bad things happen every single day in the world, to you, to me, to my family, to my friends, to your family, to your friends. There are so many things out there, and you have to be careful, and you have to try to lead your life at least as clean as possible, as morally correct as possible, because shit will come to bite you in the ass. So essentially, he goes and he tells him, hey, just pull up to the house. I got a bike waiting for you. Now, him being unsuspecting because this is his best friend, but forgetting, oh, I'm fucking my best friend's wife.
Keep in mind, nobody in the village and neighborhood or whatever knows that he is fucking the wife. Literally at this point, only his friend knows, and he's keeping it to himself. But yeah, shit goes left.
Goes to the house and he picks up the bike. Unfortunately for him, there was powder spread all over this bike. Now, the thing is with Haiti, if you guys are not aware, it's dirt, very dusty, very grimy in a lot of places, especially if we're talking about the hillside or places where farming happens. So it's not unusual to see bouts of dust and powder everywhere. It's not going to be something that you second guess, especially when you're pulling up to your friend's house, and especially when you're not expecting to be caught by fucking your best friend wife. So he pulls up, he grabs the bike, doesn't think anything of it, does the job, gets the money, time passes on, and he starts to fall extremely sick. Now, I'm not talking about like cough, cough, sneeze, sneeze sick. I'm talking about full-blown disease that nobody knows about. Like they're taking him to the doctor, nobody knows what's wrong with him. Meanwhile, he is coughing up blood, he is sneezing blood, he has mucus coming from his ears, his mouth, his nose, his eyes, and his extremities are swollen. Like I'm talking about his arm is like as big as like my thigh, probably bigger, right? I'm talking about like literally like inflammation that you probably never seen. Like the man ended up looking like a real, I don't even know. Maybe I'll put a picture of like something on the screen that I could amass it to, because I remember seeing the pictures and I was like, what the fuck type of shit is this? Like, what is going on? And we were thinking, okay, maybe it's some sort of cancer, maybe it's some sort of tumor. Nobody was able to tell us what was going on with Michael. He just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And it was one symptom after another. First, it was like the mucus, then it was the blood, then it was the inflammation, then he couldn't breathe. And unfortunately, after months of this unknown diagnosis and him being sick, he ends up passing away.
Already know, in typical Haitian woman fashion, his wife was there the entire time taking care of him. That woman is godly sent. Like she is heaven sent. She is amazing. I'm not gonna hold you because I found out you cheat on me. That's your business. Like I don't want to hear none of that shit. I am not a ride or die when it comes to stuff like that. Like you're not about to cheat on me, making me look stupid. Well, okay. To her credit, nobody knew at this point. It wasn't until he was like about to die for real, like at the end of it, that everybody found out what was going on. But like I said, he was a hoe. So he cheated before and she stayed and she's taking care of him while this is going on. I just can't.
Now, you guys are probably sitting here like, ain't no way Rudolph done killed his best friend over his wife. Yes, Rudolph done killed his best friend over his wife. And the only reason we found out about it is because eventually the wife came forward and told everyone like, yeah, I was sleeping with Michael. I think Rudolph found out and did something to him. But by that time, it was already too late, because if I'm not mistaken, when she came forward, it had to be like a week or so before Michael died and he was already dead. And everybody's just looking at her like, first of all, bitch, why don't you say something? The thing is, we always joke, especially as Haitian people, we always joke and say like, everybody always says everything is voodoo. Like it's always, oh, yo manger. It's never someone dies of natural causes. But at the same time, most people in Haiti are not always going to think foul play of black magic when someone dies. People who don't really practice as openly, or people who just don't practice at all, are really going to take you to the doctor before they take you to a boko or ogo or mumbo, right? They're not going to think, oh, somebody tried to kill them. Like they just really think like, oh my God, like they probably ate something bad, or there's probably a disease going around that we don't know about. So they didn't take him to get any spiritual readings done. Like I have family that are mumbos and ogo, and they didn't take them to any of them because they didn't think they had to. They thought it was a disease, like, because that is some crazy shit. Like I ain't never heard anyone get sick like that. Like I've heard of people being like terminally ill from black magic, but literally your whole extremities like getting swollen and mucus coming from your eyes and your ears and all of that, and blood and all like that was like extreme. So people really thought he was genuinely sick until she came forward, and then later on he died. And I really wanted to tell you guys this story because not only is the voodoo religion, practice, and lifestyle one of morals, but the people who don't have morals and do fuck shit are not exempt from getting shit thrown on them, whether it's from the person that they're doing wrong or from the spirits themselves. What goes around will always come around. And that's why I will always respect voodoo culture, because if someone doesn't do something to you, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. In this case, it's just sad that, I mean, it had to end that way. If you guys are wondering what happened to Rudolph ran off. Okay, nobody knows where he is. He took his wife and they ran off somewhere. Nobody knows where he is. Of course, my family wants blood and they tried to figure out where he is. But of course, we have way more pressing matters. But I know that when they find him, it's going to be some shit. But at the same time, my family recognizes that this was unfortunately Michael's fault. And he fucked with somebody's wife, like literally fucked his best friend's wife. And it's just, it is what it is. If they go and they take any type of revenge, or do anything against him for doing that, it's gonna unbalance the scales. I hate to say it like that, but that's the whole point of ancestral practices, right? It's to balance the earth. It's not to get power. It's not for your ego. It's not to get money. Even though, yes, they can help you get all of these things, but when you start using it for things like that, it unbalances the earth. If you're not meant to be a millionaire and you try to become a millionaire through using voodoo, using black magic, using whatever the case may be, what's going to happen is you might get it, but you're going to have to give something in return, because all of this is about balancing the scales. Going to get vengeance for them killing Michael, that's going to be hard, because it's like, I mean, you fucked his wife, he killed you. End of the story. Like, that's really what it's just gonna have to stay like that. But also, for him doing that, he's going to get what comes to him in the future if he hasn't already got it. People need to understand that taking things into your own hands is heavily frowned upon in any religion, any practice, any lifestyle. Like, you shouldn't be doing vengeance magic, black magic on people because they've wronged you or they've hurt you, because not only is that magic rooted in hatred, but it might just backfire on you. It might just boomerang. But sometimes the spirits might overlook it as okay, well, you know, that's restitution, that's a balance. But it really does depend on your practice, who you are, what they did, whatever the case may be. In this case, he really could have just left his wife. He did not have to kill my cousin. That's just absolutely ridiculous. I feel like people be doing way too much when it comes to their husbands and their wives. And I understand that is your life partner and you put in so much money and effort or whatever. But like, damn, why not come after the wife? Like, we're not about to do something to her. Like, we're not about to turn her into a goat or something. Like, absolutely ridiculous. So this happened years ago. Like I said, maybe 2020, 2021. I don't remember. But I know it was like the beginning of the panoramic and stuff. Very sad stuff. And I will say, although he did something wrong, I don't believe he deserved to die like that. But I do understand how one would say, you know what, he got what was coming to him. And that's what a lot of this is. So with that being said, stay away from people's wives and husbands, and make sure if you see any powder on anything, whether it's the floor, a possession, or whatever the case may be, do not touch it. Go away, pray, get some holy water, do something, because that's probably the only thing that could probably save you. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes as well as the condolences. It is deeply appreciated. Please make sure you guys check out my other channels. Everything you need is going to be linked down below. See y'all in the next one.